think a community at its best, at its strongest point, knows why it exists. Here, it's an inclusive and welcoming Christian community fostering connection to God, one another, and the world. And it's so heartening for people to talk about their church and about their faith and to see those red threads that string through it. How God has been at work in their lives, how God has brought people into their lives, and what a gift it is as a pastor here, as a staff member, to bear witness to that and to come alongside people of faith and to walk with them to accomplish this together.
What's always interesting about the church environment is we're not necessarily connected by any particular hobbies or interest or family activity. It's all our religion and our relationship with God, which, being in a Christian nation, we have plenty of options, but we are a very diverse group of people. And even here at Atonement, we're more probably diverse than the average church.
Atonement means to me like love, and everyone's here for you, like everyone, like no matter who comes here, they're here for you spiritually. They're here to like warm you and like comfort you and like hug you, and like I've never felt that like relationship to like most of the people I meet. Like this community is just like like a neighborhood, but like a really, 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 really close neighborhood, and like just so heartfelt and like comforting and loved.
My daughter was diagnosed with cancer at Christmas time. In fact, a couple days after Christmas, this was my phone call. "Hi Mom, happy birthday, I have cancer." So that's how last year ended. At first, I only put it on the private prayers, and then Chad, again, one of our conversations, he called me and he said, "You really should think about putting this on the public prayers." And I thought about it, and I used to tell my children, "I can't help you if I don't know what's going on." So I said, okay. And then more people responded, and it was just pretty amazing when you got faced with this unexpected challenge to have this. I just feel really grateful that I had this community to tap into, rather than, I just can't imagine what people without faith do. That, this thing happened, and what do? Is I turn to you and the church and get all this support and all this prayer. But if you didn't have that, how do people manage? I really don't know. So I'm very, very grateful.
I think that a big part of church music ministry is the coming together of the people. The music is certainly important, but maybe not as important as the people who come together to make it. Finding common strength, helping each other in times that are not good for them, finding that even though a certain person may not like John Rutter, she will sing John Rutter because of the beauty that other people feel in John Rutter's music, and that it will touch somebody in the congregation. It's that corporate spirit of working together to make music.
In some ways, there were things about the pandemic that made it easier to feel churchly, and so we just kept going. And I worried a little bit, like we don't know the people very well yet. We've really only been there about 4 months, and how will we kind of continue to make relationships? But there were always opportunities, and that's what I'm seeing as we get more involved in Atonement, that those opportunities, there are many for whatever kind of thing you want to do. At Mount Cal, I was often asked to do children's ministry because there weren't a lot of children, and my children were very visible. And I always would do it, but I always felt like these aren't my gifts. Like, I bore the children and I gave them to you. Now you're supposed to educate them, and I will do, like, my heart is more in adult education. In the call committee, I feel like has been a great place for me because I'm really interested in relationships and, bringing the right kinds of people together. And so that's just been great that there's enough activity here for kids that I don't have to run it in order for my kids to have something to be a part of.
A lot of churches do have what I'll call the sacred cows, the things of we've always done it this way and that's how we do it. And I keep asking around here at Atonement, what are those sacred cows, like the things that need to stay that way? And I keep getting met with, well, we're very open to trying new things, to seeing where the Spirit is going. And I've experienced that it's true, whether it's the start of Sunday school, or what about this event, or what about Christmas program coming up, that there's a lot of openness to say, where is God calling us to serve the people now? Because the world that existed 20 years ago doesn't exist anymore. So it's been really quite refreshing to just have that openness and willingness of, let's just try something and see what happens.
There's been a newness that has been offered by the pandemic. The slate, if not clean, has the gift to reinvent ourselves, to see what's new. What's both in how we live and how we work, right? The great resignation. But it also has created this space in our hearts to allow new things to come in. Don't have to operate under the same assumptions and ways of being that we did before.